All right. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. 2222. There you go. Nice, a nice alliteration of numbers. Good morning, all. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, click that white logo, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, press that like button. Really do appreciate it. Helps the algorithms for the YouTube channel. Let's go and talk about it. Dow Jones futures slightly green, up 17 points. Nasdaq up 172 points. Was up a little higher, up 1.15%. Thank you, Google. Thank you, AMD. Thank you, Facebook. Facebook reports today, but again, Google boosting that up. Thank you, NVIDIA. S&P futures up 0.62%. Broke above that key level here on the S&P futures. Let me go and get you that. It was 45. Let me see what that number was. It was 4560. 4560 was broken, which was the 100-day moving average. 4600 is your next level. Actually, 4581, that's your next fib level to the upside. So let's go and place an alert there. 450, 4581 and a quarter should do it. If we get there, that's your 38.2 fib. We talked about how the S&P futures, we did the Fibonacci charts. We talked about kind of like equating that to a football game. We are now in enemy territory. We're now getting close to the red zone, let's just say. 45.81 breaks, 46.20 is in effect. That's the 50-day. Again, guys, the bottom is in. We told you guys that 42.60 was in, and I hope you guys rode that way up. Russell 2000 futures are flat. Crude oil is up 1%, 89.14 a barrel. $2.59 for gasoline futures. Gold is up still above 1800 at 1802. Silver 0.40%, 22.68. Euro dollar is up 36 pips, 113.09. 114.45, down 24 pips for the dollar yen, as the dollar index is sliding down 0.42%, while yields are at 1.807, and the VIX, again, pretty low now. We're starting to test that 20 level. Remember, we talked about anything below 20 is pretty solid. 21.67 at 132 to the downside. Let's take a look at some crypto. Bitcoin is trading now at 38,415. Ethereum 2,776 currently. So those are the two big boys. So again, kind of sideways action since yesterday at noon. We're right at that 38,000 support on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers. We got some news as well. I'll go over with you. Here is the pre-market movers. PayPal's down about 18.98%. PayPal's not a bad buy. Again, if you want to buy cheap, kind of reminds me of that Netflix move. So PayPal may not be bad to go ahead and add to the portfolio. I may add a couple of shares of PayPal here. AMD up 11%. NVIDIA up 5%. Helpful with AMD. Ford up 1.60%. Apple up 0.04%. Microsoft 0.36%. Nike's green as well. Let's take a look at the S&P. Microsoft, Intel down 1%. Meta Platforms up 3%, which is Facebook. That'll be reporting today after the bell, but AMD was the big winner, and Starbucks after their earnings was down 3%. Let's see where that goes today. I do own some shares of Starbucks. Let me see here. It may be worth my time. Okay, so 92.70 is my buy level for Starbucks to add some more. Let's go ahead and also take a look at some headlines. ADP jobs report, private sector employment decreased 301,000. I said this in a couple of classes with some students, and I said this to our members as well, that again, we kind of don't want higher job gains. We're starting to hit that level of not near maximum employment, but to the point that if employment goes higher, labor costs go up, inflation will continue to creep higher. If the jobs market can cool a little bit, that'll put some ease on inflationary pressures. So again, that's a good idea, a good thing that if we get lower jobs numbers, because then I'll keep the Fed at bay at just doing 25 basis points instead of a 50 in March. So that's really kind of like what I'm looking for in that. Capri stock soars after Michael Kors parent company reports earnings and guidance beat ahead of expectations. They're up 13.4%. D.R. Horton also beat after their earnings and raised outlook. Very robust housing market, so that's a good sign. Sony lifts forecast as Spider-Man propels quarterly profit. They're up 4.2%. And let's see here. What else? AbbVie reported earnings, $3.31, above the $3.29 EPS estimate. The revenue did miss, 14.9 billion versus a $15 billion earnings forecast. There you go. ARKK is up 2.1% pre-market. That was about an hour ago. OPEC recommends an increase of output target of 400,000 barrels per day in March. Then we talk about with oil. Again, we're going to start getting to the point where they're going to start drilling more to maximize profit, which will go ahead and increase supply and lower demand. Well, if demand is the same, supply will increase. So again, watch oil. Once that $100 hits, that's pretty much, we're going to be kind of sideways and then go back down a little bit. So OPEC will likely stick to existing policies of moderate output increases on Wednesday. 5 sources from the producers group said even if it expects demand to rise, new peaks this year as oil prices trade near highs since 2014. So again, that's something to think about when it comes to the oil prices. And mortgage applications jumped 12%. The previous application last week was down 7.1%. 30-year mortgage rates at 3.78%. Previous week was 3.72%. That's where we are. Let's take a look real quick at PayPal as a possible trade. I do have a level of 129 for PayPal. Let's see if I can get that maximized here. 2-year period. Yeah, 129 is my next support. We're at 141.96. So again, I'll wait for a little bit, see if we can get a little more of a tank job to add to some PayPal. PayPal over time, especially with Metaverse and all that stuff, I think it's definitely worth a shot to buy some long term. Again, this is a good opportunity, especially when they tank. That's when you start looking at these names. Again, just like I said earlier, 2 Mondays ago, that's a time to buy some stocks, 42.60. You start buying some of what you want, focus on the core holdings, not really much the growth, crazy high betas, and then you'll be okay. If you bought Microsoft, you bought AMD, if you bought Apple, if you bought Tesla, if you bought these names, United Health, you did well. You're doing great. So again, no need to fear there. I think the worst is obviously over. And again, we just need to get above 45.81, which is at 38.2 fib. Once that does, 46.20, really the worst. It's pretty much mission accomplished. Things are good again. The only thing I worry about is Nasdaq, and the only reason I say that is because Nasdaq, we're not near the 100-day moving average, which is 15.6. We still got 500 points ahead of us. If that does hit, we could also get a head and shoulders. So we might get a right shoulder here, get a little more of a drop on Nasdaq. If we break above 15,742, then forget that. We're gonna get near those all-time highs. So tons. Good morning, man. Thoughts on CAT? I do own some CAT. They had reported earnings. Let's see. Oops, Caterpillar. Caterpillar right now is at 206.20, bouncing off the lows. If we go ahead and go to the 2-year, what's a good level to buy? Really, the level to buy next is right at that support of 184.84. I don't think we get there, honestly, but again, that wouldn't be a bad place to probably buy some. You can go ahead and do, I would say 187 is fine. That's where I'll be adding some more. So let me go ahead and add that support. Let me remove these Fibonacci drawings. That was old. Square thoughts. Square has to report. Obviously, PayPal being missed. 88.33 will be my buy level for Square. I like Square long term. It's definitely a growth story. It's going to take some time to kind of get together. Part of the speculation bucket, not part of the core holdings. Morning, Carls. Are you expecting we regain all these all-time highs this week? No, I don't think we're going to get to all-time highs this week. That'd be great, but it's not going to happen. We're going to start kind of running out of room here in a bit. Right around 45.81. I would assume that we're going to kind of get around 4,600. 4,600 is a really big level. Right after 4,600, I would kind of peel back some longs or any calls that you may have and wait for any kind of consolidation for a bit. Again, we've had 3 days of strong gains. Think about it. We have retraced since last Monday nearly 78% of the downside move back up. Like I said, things are not as bad as it always seems. Things are not always as good as it is. So again, you know the drill. Last Monday everyone thought the world was over, and now everyone thinks it's party time. Temper your expectations. 4,600 on the S&P. That's your resistance short term. I would say right there, if you want to take some profits on some stocks that you bought that you want to get rid of, that's what you want to do it. 4,600. Keep that in your head. If not, and you're just a long-term holder like me, you don't give a shit right now. You're just playing calls. So again, we do have some more upside. I like small caps for more upside. I think Nasdaq has more upside. S&P, not as much. But again, I think the Nasdaq and the Russell small caps have the better shot for more upside, which will carry a little bit of the S&P. But S&P 4600, that's where you start getting resistance, 4581 to 4600. Good morning, Carlos from the UK. What's your thoughts on SoFi and Mason Greenwood? Mason Greenwood, if he's guilty, which I don't know, he's a scumbag. I don't want him part of that squad. So again, obviously it's innocent to proven guilty in the United States. In Britain, it's guilty to proven innocent, I think. I mean, that kind of domestic violence stuff is not cool. That don't fly with me. I mean, that's pathetic. That's very toxic. You don't want that around your team. In terms of SoFi, let's take a look at SoFi. Again, SoFi is going to be kind of in the same boat with PayPal and Square. Nothing against SoFi, obviously. If you want to own it, again, be part of your speculation bucket. If you want to buy it, here would probably be the best time to do so, because if you're not, I don't think you're going to get to around $10. $13 is not a terrible price here. Thoughts on buying ARKK Google? Google I own. That was one of our top 10 stocks of 2022, so I bought it first when we just posted it. ARKK, I have an alert at $60. Again, really high, really fast. Again, I told you about that head and shoulders with Nasdaq. We may get another crack at buying some stocks on the cheap, but again, as of right now, I do own ARKK. I have not added to it. I have not added to more speculation. I've added more to the core holdings because I really wanted discounts on the core holdings, which rarely happen. Discounts on high growth beta, that's easy. That happens a lot. But like to get a discount that you got on a Microsoft, on Apple, a UNH, an AMD, an Nvidia, those are very hard to come by. But like, you know, SoFi, that's easy to get. That happens a lot. That's why I'm not worried about that. How you play Google stock split? Buy long before split? I already own shares. So again, I'm not buying into the upside. Let's see if we can get back down a little bit. And after the stock split, I'll go ahead and see. But as of right now, I hold some Google stock. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do anything with it. Let the stock split happen and, you know, play calls with it and play puts with it in the future. That's why I like it. Thoughts on adding Roblox here? I like Roblox. I do own some. To add them here, let's see. Yeah, add it here is not a terrible idea if you wanted to add it below 69. Not a terrible idea if you want to own some, if it's part of your portfolio. To me, it's more speculation. Again, that's not my focus. But again, Roblox is not a bad idea here. No. Netflix. Good morning, Carlos. I have Netflix 470 calls for next week's expiration. Do you think I should wait? Netflix 470s for next week. There is a gap to fill to the upside right around 509. So hold it. I think that you can hold it there. If you can deal with it and hold it, you know, some volatility, go for it. If not, then just cut it, take some profit. But yeah, it looks like things are getting better. Obviously, the jobs report in terms of the private payrolls, again, guys, as a trader, as an investor, you kind of want less jobs to be added because that reduces inflationary pressures, which keeps the Fed off hitting 50 basis points in March. So again, nice couple of days. Obviously, it's Wednesday. Might be 3 days in a row this week that we've had green. It's already 3 days in a row counting last Friday. So again, a lot of stuff going on. But again, guys, we're starting to hit that point. Again, it was a nice rally from the lows. Don't get me wrong. 4,600, 4,620. Let's say 4,581 to 4,620. That's where you start thinking about, you know, cutting out some stocks that you don't want to own. That's where you want to start thinking about taking some profits. Again, yes, we could have more upside, but I don't want you guys freaking out the way everyone was freaking out last Monday. Monday that was just not the one that passed, the one Monday before, where it was really bad out there and everyone was freaking out. This is a time to kind of readjust your portfolio for risk in the future and kind of put things together where you're not all in meme stocks, you're in quality names. We know the quality names have done well. Take a look at the earnings. EPS is growing. These companies make great money. Google has shown you they deserve your investment. AMD deserves your investment. United Health deserves your investment. American Express, D.R. Horton, obviously with some great numbers. Procter & Gamble. These are great companies. Not everything is Clove. Not everything is PayPal. Not everything is Square. I keep repeating that because it's very, very important to understand as an investor that it's not just meme names. There's incredible companies out there doing incredible things, and they deserve your investment down the line. Stop looking to shoot the moon and trying to get 500% in 1 year. Slow and steady wins the race. Stick with quality companies and you're going to do fine. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll catch you guys for the aftermarket recap, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.